Hey guys, welcome to Present Fatherhood. I'm Rachel and this is Jeff. Today I'm introducing you, honey.
No problem. I'm getting used to this anyway.
Actually, when we were dating, he had a problem introducing me to his friends. But before we get to that, this is our second episode of what we have learned during our parenting journey from
Yeah, our son is turning 3, so we are doing this series where we are just talking about what we've learned
so far.
so far. Yeah, until our in our 3 years of parenting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you should have watched our previous video of what we learned from
from
the
during the
pregnancy.
pregnancy. If you missed it, it is up here. You can go
Yeah.
and click and just get it. It has really good information that we've learned during that time
Yeah.
that could be useful for you if you are beginning that journey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that we are reunited, of course. We were apart, and also it just feels nice.
Yeah, it
At least
does.
we
It
can do a
does.
sit down.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the last sit down we actually had together was why we didn't get married sooner.
Yeah, which was several months ago, maybe
Yeah,
8 or so months.
maybe we should check that video right
Yeah,
now.
you should check it, check it, check it, check it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
subscribe, guys. We need you guys to subscribe and join our family just to get to know our lives and how we are trying to showcase fatherhood and involvement and just celebrating family.
In general,
Yeah,
yeah.
in general. So
Yeah, so this episode we'll be seeing what are the lessons that we've learned
from
from the birth to 1.5 years.
yes.
Yeah.
And please watch to the end because number 10 will shock you.
Did you have to say that? Anyway, so where did we stop last?
Yeah, we stopped where we were just
Communication
yeah,
in the previous video
yeah,
at birth,
yeah,
before birth, right?
yeah.
So, well, during the birth, now that we are from birth up to 1.5, what I would say is our biggest lesson would be I think dads should be present during the birth. Yeah,
And even get to cut the umbilical cord.
if
I really wanted that. If I got the opportunity to cut the umbilical cord, I think there is just something that it does to you. If you're a dad and you've been there in the delivery room and you've done that, please comment. Just share.
How was it for
How
you?
was it for you? How did you
Yeah,
feel?
I think why I say that is a lesson is because, well, Jeff has not been in the labor room with me for the last 2 pregnancies we've had, and it's a moment that we can never turn back time.
Yeah, we can't.
Like, he can never recover that, and it's something that you really wish that you could have been there. There's just something when the father is there. For the firstborn, he was hovering around. He couldn't be allowed. We weren't able to access a private ward.
Yeah, because it requires you to pay more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We couldn't afford having a private wing
we were
ward.
on a budget.
Babies on a
Thanks to
budget.
NHIF, guys. Please,
Yeah.
if you are on a budget, make sure you get that thing sorted out.
Yeah, so we took up the government free service, which really helped to cater for the bill. And Jeff wasn't allowed because we didn't pay more,
Yeah.
and so he missed that. But he was,
I was around.
I was living close by. I was actually living so close to the hospital. It was like
I could
a
dash
2
in the
minutes
house.
walk. Yeah,
Not even I think 1 minute
he could
walk
dash in the house
and come back.
and come back.
I could even hear her scream in case, but she didn't scream, but I could hear her scream.
I didn't scream because I had known that when you scream, you're going to lose a lot of energy. I think Jeff can't turn back that. And for a second, Jeff wasn't around actually fully.
I was at work again.
He was at work in a different city.
Yeah.
And now I was in a different city. Her cousin, one of his cousins came to join me, which gave some moral support. My family was not around. His family was not around. Okay, it wasn't as scary as the first time because this time around I'd already popped. So it was the second baby. But I still wished I should have been with Jeff. Especially also because the conditions of my second birth were really harder. We didn't go to the hospital we intended or we wished, and so I went to a not so good public hospital, and the standards were not very good. Women were sharing beds. You're being rushed over the delivery process. It's good that I was just. Mm, it was my second time, so I
If
wasn't.
it was your first time, I
If it
think
was
it
my
would
first
have been
time,
a
yeah,
horrible
it would have. Yeah,
experience.
it still was a horrible experience.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
but it would have been more
Worse.
shocking, more
Yeah.
traumatizing. Yeah, actually, I think I just wanted to finish giving birth and go home. I couldn't wait to go home. If anything, I didn't even spend 24 hours in that hospital. I must have given birth at 2 a.m. and by 2 p.m. I was in my house.
And I think our heart goes out to any woman out there who has to go through those conditions.
Yeah,
Our hope is that the situation can be better.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's lesson number one. Stay. It's good for us to be in the delivery
To be
room.
present.
Yeah, yeah. Number two, baby blues and postpartum depression are real. Let's just say baby blues for the mom and postpartum depression for now both.
Yeah,
But
and
let's
we are also gonna talk about another lesson that we're going to talk about is joining work, after the birth.
of course, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
joining work. It's another.
yeah.
Stick around and you'll get to know the experience that you
So
learned from that.
for the baby blues, it's common. Baby blues is where like the woman becomes extremely weepy, extremely emotional, and I experienced severe baby blues immediately after our firstborn. Um, I think it's common for your first baby. For the second baby, not really. And I was weepy and I was like, I didn't want anything to do with the kid for a while. Even like then, I think I got depressed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I did get I call it a mild postpartum depression. Although we didn't go to the doctor to be diagnosed or to get medication for it, um, we had already read the symptoms and stuff, and so I got to know, and I feel like it's a topic that people need to know. Jeff was very scared
I was
for me.
scared. I was confused. I didn't know that I was also going through my own mental issues.
Yeah,
Because this was my first time as well. I'm seeing this woman that is almost hurting our child, and hurting herself in the process, and
yeah.
I'm supposed to be the one there taking care of her.
Mm.
It was just an overwhelming moment for me that I would like to also send my heart to any dad that is going through that situation right now.
Yeah, so when you notice that maybe as a woman you're not liking the baby or having a hard time to bond with the baby, it's important to talk to your pediatrician, and it's important to diagnose post PPD early, and it happens to dads
Dads as
too.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The times that dads were being considered strong and then they don't go through these issues is gone. Right now, dads need to accept more that they are also going through these issues of postpartum, because it is a first time for them as well,
yeah.
and they are worried about, will they be able to provide, they able to take care of this woman enough, and this worries really confuse dads and deny them the opportunity to bond with the newborn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so our third lesson has to be that they are very in the millennial age. There's a lot of great information and apps that can track your pregnancy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your the growth of
Yeah,
your
the
baby
journey
very
in real time,
easily.
in real
Yeah,
time.
which is really incredible.
Our mothers didn't have that, and our fathers didn't have that
Yeah,
privilege.
they didn't have that privilege, definitely. For us, we used greatly a resource. I think it's UK based Baby Center
Baby center.
and
Yeah,
also Motherly,
yeah.
which has been an amazing resource. It still tracks my kids up to now,
Yes. When does
and
it end?
5 years.
5 years, yeah, 5 years.
5 years, yeah, but it still sends you as long as you've subscribed. Yeah, actually, I think I just got an update that Jordan is almost turning his birthday is nearing, and so you can be able to see based on expert advice. We actually tracked our kids straight from pregnancy. So, oh, you're pregnant.
Hey, Rachel, now your son is 6 months. This is what to
They're the
expect.
size of a watermelon.
Yeah, this is what to expect. They will be crying more. Their teeth will be growing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's been quite a resourceful.
It's really a great resource. So
Yeah,
maybe you can share in the comment section what are the resources
just
that you
that you've
use
used. Yeah.
as a parent or as a new parent. But for us, those have really worked for us, and it's important to try and take advantage of that. Yeah.
I feel like another lesson for me that I've also learned is have help, because when the child is born, you need time to bond with the child, to just, especially for the woman is needs time to rejuvenate and to gain her health back. And if
Mm.
she's the one who is also taking care of the baby, washing the clothes, and especially if you go through those ladies that go through
Cesarean
cesarean section
section.
and they have to still do that work,
It's very tasking.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very tasking.
And I think
We were
yeah.
privileged to have your mom around during the
Yeah.
first birth.
Yeah.
Ah, thanks, mommy, if you're watching this. Thank you very much.
Mm.
The second birth, we had your aunt.
My aunt, my mom's sister came to stay with me
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
yeah.
whole month.
And it is a lot of work. Even
Yeah.
your mom was really overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember, you see, we hadn't fully, our first baby, we hadn't fully like transitioned living together as Jeff. And so my mom came to stay with me for the first 2 weeks. And because a newborn cries a lot and they're demanding, and even me, I'm adjusting. I don't to latch the baby, to just know that my body is flowing with milk everywhere, and just my postpartum and just dealing with the trauma. It was so interesting to actually see that my mom was even overwhelmed. She'd sometimes
doze off.
sleep.
Yeah,
There's even a video of Jeff visiting, and he was dozing
those I
off.
was dozing off as well. It is a
It's
lot of work.
tasking,
Yeah,
yeah,
those
newborns.
who are having newborns right now, ah, know that the phase will end.
Yeah,
Yeah, take
yeah,
heart, the phase will end, but
yeah.
we really feel for you guys. Really feel. If you're having a newborn, please also comment and just share with
How
us.
is it? Is it
How is it? Yeah. Do
overwhelming?
you have
Yeah,
help? If you don't have
yeah.
help, also let us know.
So definitely having help is great. We went through a series of having nannies. After that, some who we had to change
Yeah.
quite faster than we intended. Others were just outrightly not good.
Yeah.
But I think for a couple, if you just your husband and your wife, especially if you don't have good paternity leave, the woman you may really suffer if you only have to deal with the house chores and the new baby alone. I really appreciate my second born. I had a little bit quite an easier time because my aunt came to stay with me for a month. The first one, my mom came to stay with me for 2 weeks. And so Jeff now had to stay with me,
Mm.
and we were two confused parents. It was harder, we were not getting our help. Our finances also got constrained, so we had to relocate and get hosted by a family member, and it was devastating. But with
Yeah,
our
the
second,
story was really highlighted in Daily Nation. Yeah,
yeah, it
if
was
you
published.
haven't read it, please. I think we'll have the link in the bio.
Yeah,
You
in
can
the
just go.
description box.
It is a story of our failures, our mistakes, the bad decisions that we've made, but we really put it out there so that somebody else can be inspired and can learn from it.
Yeah, so but for my second baby, our second baby,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for.
for our second baby, what
Yeah.
happened is that I got time to just chill. Even if Jeff was away, my aunt really took a huge burden, and I think we were a bit more financially comfortable,
Mm,
cushioned
mm.
rather, so it didn't feel like,
We are straining a
yeah,
lot.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I really enjoyed my first 1 month. I was bonding with the baby. Actually, Jeff came to see our second baby when he was a month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's another
Oh,
thing that, and for people who have gone through this, you know how much time moves for a small, for a
yeah.
newborn. One
Imagine.
month is like 10 years. You know, when you're dealing with a newborn, they change so quick.
And so I sent Jeff a few pictures of how the baby looked as a newborn. But, oh, man. Such memories.
Yeah.
That was a bit heavy on me. Anyway, after you get help, the other lesson that we really learned is eating healthy is very important, especially for a mom if you're choosing to breastfeed.
And actually, you should, if you can, if you're a mom and you can, breastfeed.
Yeah,
Breastfeed, breastfeed, breastfeed. It will be tiring, it will be tasking and demanding to your body. But that
definitely.
is where now eating healthy and eating well comes in.
Yeah, I remember like with my first baby, Jeff, my mom and Jeff got into like a cohort and they had to make me eat
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
was eating. Because my mom would prepare cereal. In the morning, I think I would have two boiled eggs, uh, three, two boiled bananas, like
Porridge.
plantains, one boiled potato, some spinach, and some beans. My goodness. And I would still need to take a whole bowl of porridge and two
Oh,
cups of soup, bone soup. Oh my goodness. In one sitting. Well, the truth is, I did finish. The times that I would struggle, and
yeah.
Jeff would really have to encourage me, eat more, and it really helped to bring my milk. The funny thing is that we didn't know about this. We were not exposed to the lactation cookies and I don't know fenugreek tea, but according to our culture, we use bone soup and porridge a lot to help like get back your calcium, and that helped
And your
also in
strength and your healing
yeah, in
process.
my
Yeah.
healing process. Actually, I was able to bounce back fast. The other thing is Jeff ensured that I didn't do any heavy lifting.
And yeah, 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 yeah. That is one thing that we were talking about, that you really need to get help so that you don't get immediately into doing the house chores and
Yeah,
stuff, because
yeah,
especially you need to protect the back.
the core, yeah,
Yeah, the back of your wife, so that they are able to, later on we've had women who are saying, having
back
backaches,
pains,
and it is
yeah,
because of, they really didn't take care of themselves during that period.
definitely,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it is important. And then for men, what you can do is also you can really come in handy during this time by encouraging your wife. If they are trying to do things that they're not supposed to do, come in and help them do it.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think that's a lesson on its own. Like, how do you help each other through?
Yes, yes, yes,
You need to
yes.
support each other through. If you have a husband or your boyfriend, because as a woman, especially, even finding time to get a shower is
It's,
so
it's, it's,
hard.
it's so hard. It's so
It's
hard.
so
So hard.
hard.
And another thing that I would like to also let the men know is that you should be ready to do a number of things for your wife.
Mm,
There's post birth care,
yeah.
so that the woman can heal. Don't be shy, if especially if it is the two of you, be ready to do the worst of
I
stuff.
remember Jeff would used to go all the way to maybe like an hour's drive to go and buy bones so that like they can come home and make bone soup, and he had to go to the market, source the best of veggies, and that was really good.
Sometimes I had to clean her,
Yeah, the
because
days.
sometimes bending is a problem, and it's just hectic. So you should be ready to do that.
Yeah, thank you, my dear. Thank
I
you.
think I will do it any day, anytime.
Oh,
Mm.
thanks. Yeah, so that after support is so important. It's such an important thing to highlight. So
Moving forward,
we're
3 months,
yeah.
and probably you're a mom and you need to go back to work. The
Ah,
psychology of it. I think for
yeah,
our first baby, you were working, you were given an unpaid.
maternity leave after
Uh,
I gave birth, and
yes.
so I think when our firstborn was 4 months, I had to now go back to work. And it was really hard. It was when people talk about mom guilt, and sometimes people think it's fantasy. It's not fantasy. It's real, and this is the time that the lesson here is still support, but this one on an emotional level from your partner in terms of even also support at work. You can request the colleagues to be a little bit more supportive
Yeah.
because maybe actually my breasts would hurt. We didn't have a breast pump, so I would go to the washroom and just pump
Express milk.
express it on
Yeah.
the sink. Oh man.
And actually, one of the major things that we learned during this period, and we would request even employers, is to have a nursery room.
Nursing area,
Yeah,
yeah.
nursing
They should take
room.
that really
Yeah,
more
where
seriously.
your kids, mothers, and their nursing babies can come and they breastfeed, and they can have breaks to spend more time with their kids. Because I remember you really had to look for a house that was close.
Yeah.
When we were looking for a house,
Mm.
you were considering, is it a house that you could dash
That's
back
true,
and
yeah. And
breastfeed and
that's
come?
because we did have a nursing area.
Yes,
And
yes,
also,
yes.
I'm leaving a baby with my baby, the caregiver. And sometimes you're uncomfortable, you don't know how
Mm-hmm,
your caregiver
mm-hmm,
is going.
mm-hmm.
Actually, the circumstances of us releasing our caregiver at that time is that I came home earlier than expected. And imagine, when I was a bit far, around 10-20 minutes away, I could hear a baby wailing. And in my mind, I was thinking, is my baby wailing? Is that my baby wailing? So I started pacing myself.
Yeah,
Getting to my house, it's my baby who's wailing. My baby has been wailing. It means that my baby has been wailing for
a long
longer.
time, yeah.
And I was infuriated. So I just gave the baby the boob and the baby kept quiet. And the caregiver was not even there. So I just sat down. I was trying to calm myself down and waited. And that lady came back after a whole half an hour. To mean if I wasn't home, the baby would have been crying
Crying
for an
an
hour.
hour, yeah. And
Imagine.
there are several things that can go wrong when a baby is crying for long. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean that was her last day. That was her last day. We were so we were not happy with that,
If
and
you've gone through this experience, I know there are many who have gone through the experience of house helps and having to go back to work and leave their kids with the
yeah,
house help. Please share in the comment section, how was it for you? How
yeah,
did you deal with it?
mm,
You know,
yeah. So that was really hard. So getting back to work, you really need to be able to get very good support on very many angles from your caregiver. Sometimes it's good if you have a relative and a caregiver.
and another thing that I wanted Babe to tell guys that we
Mm-hmm.
learned during this period is that what we had discussed earlier on that we wanted to be in the lives of our kids for the first 2 years,
Yeah.
at least one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good that this time that you are going back to work, I wasn't working.
Yeah.
And therefore I was able to be around
Yeah.
and give you some level of
Comfort. Yeah.
peace of
Peace
mind,
of
because
mind. Yeah.
women deal with the separation guilt,
Definitely. Even
and
the baby.
and the worries of what could be happening to my child, and
Has the
that's
baby been given enough
yeah,
formula? Have
and
they choked?
yes, and that's why many mothers go to the extent of
Having a
having
nanny
non-cam.
come.
Yes, that we were discussing the other day, whether is it
Is it a
right,
nanny? Is a nanny come a good
a
thing?
good thing to have,
Yeah.
or
Maybe you can
the,
tell us in the
yeah, or they're
comments
just
below.
things that should remain unknown,
Yeah.
and if your husband, so men out there should be open to remaining at home.
But also, it depends on the arrangement. What if your husband can't work from home or is work? I think the challenge comes in because mostly when you're working, both of you are working outside home. And our arrangement got better over time because now we were able to transition into working at home. And there's a time that we have been unemployed.
Yeah,
We still are to a certain degree because of the COVID effect, and then that gave us some peace of mind, especially when I was going back to work with our second baby. Jeff was home for a long time, and we had
yeah.
a caregiver, a very good caregiver. She's been
Mm,
amazing. I think You should check out a video
She's in one of our videos.
yeah,
Yeah, she was
yeah,
an amazing lady. She did
yeah,
amazing job.
yeah.
Even when we separated ways, it wasn't because, you know,
That it's not like the one I've described earlier that she left the baby or
no, no,
something.
no, no, no.
Yeah. So I think getting good caregiving and even that returning to work element is very important. Employers, if you're an employer and you're watching, really consider this. How can you help your employees to transition to work well? By creating those nurseries and just better working platforms.
Platform where
Mm,
people can have a good work balance,
yeah,
because that person that is at work and has left a child home will not be productive
it's
if they are
true.
always at work and worrying about their child and whether their child is well or whether their child is fed.
It's true.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you go through a one-time cost of having that, constructing that
Nursery.
nursery, and your employees are having good
Peace of
mental
mind.
peace of mind, they will be more productive.
Yeah.
The next thing that I think I've learned in that 1 year is when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
winning, yeah,
Yeah.
you should try and have a variety of try a variety of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because the importance of this is that your child will now be able to have good eating habits,
That's true.
because
That's
you've
true.
tried a number of things as
Yeah.
opposed to just sticking to one
One
thing.
over a long period of time.
Yeah,
We actually have a winning your baby video.
video,
You
you
can
should
check
check
it
it, you
out.
should check it. When where I was doing it.
Yeah, Jeff was doing the winning, and we tried with a few fruits. There are different options of how you can try it, but also trying. Uh, I think the thing is, if you decided to try fruits, maybe you try one fruit for 3 days, another fruit for 3 days. You can't mix them up together. You don't have to wake up
Yes,
one day
yes,
and give
and
your baby a
a
pudding.
pudding, yeah.
Yeah, and also it's so that they can acquire taste. So they acquire taste of the pawpaw, they
Mm.
acquire the taste of
Like
the
right now, we've
mango.
realized and we know very well that this type of fruit, this kid doesn't like this fruit. This, like, our kids don't like avocado.
They can't even
They
take
can't
it.
even take it. And if you are combining them together, they will be rejecting that meal, and not
Yeah,
because they don't like it,
it's
but
because
just
it
they,
has
yeah, avocado
avocado.
in it.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because just the other day, which is 2 weeks ago, I tried making a pudding. We just bought a new blender, and to celebrate, we made a pudding with avocado, pawpaw, melon, and bananas. And it looked so nice. The kids were really waiting for it. And when I gave each of them a cup, they sipped and they couldn't take. And I
Yes.
knew it's because of
And
the
yet it
avocado.
had some of their favorite fruits like watermelon. Those people can sit
Yeah,
and eat
a whole
a whole
melon.
melon by themselves.
Yeah, and it's really because of a child also has preferences. So check out the winning video and
Mm.
yeah. So that was a great lesson. The
Hmm.
other one is sleep training is really
Oh, yeah,
important.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna save you a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you do it, babe? How do you do it?
Okay, right now, for example, now our eldest is almost turning 3. By the time he was 1 year and by the time he was almost 2, we had already transitioned him to his own room and
Yeah.
his own
Bed.
bed.
Yeah. He
And
was
he
sleeping
sleeps through the
yeah, he
night.
was sleeping alone.
Yeah. So I don't have to be in his room. We don't co-sleep, which it's not an argument whether you co-sleep or you don't. For us, we don't.
Mm.
So, which one of the advantages with that is because it helps us with our sanity. We can have couple time,
Yeah,
like
spend
right
time
now.
and even have sex, man. When you are there with the two babies in the same bed, it's hectic.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when the babies were born, we put them in a different bassinet. So we didn't co-sleep from the beginning. And it's tasky because you have to keep on waking up, waking up, waking up. But after a while, it pays off.
Yeah.
And then now, when they are a bit older, from 6 months, thereabout, you put them to bed when they're still awake, and they are
They cry a bit.
they just cry a bit.
You
We don't.
comfort.
Yeah, you keep on. They cry, you go comfort, and then you leave the room. So
Mm.
then you also don't leave the light on. You leave the light off so that they can differentiate
Mm.
day and night.
Or if you must have a very dim light.
Yeah, yeah, dim light.
Mm.
Yeah. So over time, that routine became
if you
easy.
if you are if you're also dealing with that sleep training and any, you can also, there's somebody that you can DM us, you can refer you to somebody else that does
Sleep
sleep training.
training, yeah,
You
we
can
do.
consult them and probably they can help.
Yeah, but sleep training, especially from 8 months, but it's a process that begins straight from birth anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, more intensively from around 6 months moving forward. And right now, we are very proud because our firstborn has been sleeping in his own room for the last
Ah,
1.5 years.
hooray!
I
Yeah,
mean, wow.
yeah, yeah.
Even and the second, and it's not
And
like
then
he's not
he
less
walks and
clingy.
he will tell good
Good
night
night, and said
and
good night, and
kiss
then
daddy, and he goes.
and we switch off the lights, and that's it.
Yeah, there's no screams like, oh, afraid of the dark, nothing.
No, 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 no.
Mm.
And also, of course, our second born,
And also, kids are different. If yours is afraid of also of the dark, try leaving the light on until they are asleep.
a little bit, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think just also get your child's personality
yeah,
in it, but sleep training
it
works.
works. Yeah.
It does in that one, yeah, yeah. What other thing would you say that you've learned?
During this 1 year, also what I've learned is that take a lot of pictures again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, as opposed to pregnancy, you don't have much to see really. But when the kid starts growing,
Yeah,
there's a number of changes, a lot of changes happen,
yeah,
and every moment counts. Like we
yeah,
were just looking at our son Jasiri the other day. Today we were looking at the pictures,
yeah, yeah.
and it was just
Tremendous.
tremendous change.
Yeah,
So take those pictures. That's why we have phones. Take
yeah.
them, store them, whether it is in the clouds or where. But
Mm-hmm.
trust you me, when you'll be looking at them later, you'll be thankful and grateful that you did take the pictures.
Yeah, I guess. So that's it, guys.
That's
Of
it.
our
That's it.
lessons
Yeah.
from 0 to
One and a
one and a
half
half
years.
years.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been
It's been
incredible.
incredible. Our next video will be talking about from 1 year to now,
Where we are,
where we
almost
are.
3.
Yeah, almost 3 in August 6th. Oh, good God, man. Say, if you're a parent, you know how it feels when
Yeah,
your kids make these milestones.
milestones.
That's why 1 year, especially 1 year, people celebrate it like it
Yeah.
is 10
So
years.
tell us in the comment section, what are the milestones if you're a parent? What are the lessons that you've also learned from the birth of your baby up to 1.5 years that maybe we've not highlighted, and it would be nice to hear
Yeah,
from you and also learn from you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe, bye, and yeah.
Let's see you on the next
So
episode.
the episode, it's gonna be great. We're gonna talk about discipline. Discipline is a hot topic. That is where it starts. So bye.
Okay.